Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, you're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio. I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. I see Platinum. Platinum, you said you cannot hear me. Can you hear me now? Let me know. Can't believe I'm doing all this good talking and nobody can hear it. All right, let's try
Let's try this again. Hang on a second. We'll be right back in a moment. Anywhere? Oh, she can hear me now. Thank you, Platinum. Thank you very much. So hang on a second. Let's start this thing again here. Hang on a second.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing.
All right, we're back. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Sorry that little blip there. Hope you can hear me now. Glad to be here on this Friday. We're here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. I'm Robert Gatewood. I have a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. And I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College. Been doing that for 25 years. As a matter of fact, I had a class last night, had a great group of people. We were talking about networking. And Frank and Atanga and Bishan and Danielle and Genesis, just a great group of people and great students. And I do this as part of my mission. Part of my mission is to build strong businesses in our community and put people to work. I do that through my company, Gatewood Marketing and Web. I do it through a couple of books I've written. I've been in the government space with the 8A program, Small Business Administration. And so what I try to do is bring this information back because some things are so important. Not being able to afford it is not a good enough reason. So this is part of my mission, my raison d'etre. And this class last night was part of that mission. We talked about networking. I'll just give you a quick tip this morning. If you are in the networking space, you're trying to build your business, trying to grow your organization. Networking is about how you can help other people. It's not about what people can do for you. We embrace this concept called reciprocity or giver's gain. You give and you receive. So if you give somebody, you don't ask somebody for a business card, for instance, give your business card, you offer your business card, and the spirit of reciprocity, they will offer you theirs in return. Just like you don't ask people their name, you offer your name. I am Robert or I am Gatewood, and the person will in turn give you their name. So that's a kind of a mind shift when you start doing networking. So that's what we talked about tonight. I have a very busy schedule. Matter of fact, I'm going to be teaching this weekend at the college. We're going to do marketing strategies for today and tomorrow. It's going to be a 6-hour course from 9 in the morning until 4 in the evening. And some people say, how in the heck can you teach a course for 6-7 hours? Well, you make it interesting, engaging, get the students involved, and provide good information. Matter of fact, I rarely had anybody to say that was too long. Matter of fact, some people try to stick around and get more. So anyway, because that's what I do. I'm not just a talker. I do. When this show goes off, I'm going to roll up my sleeve. I'm going to jump out here and start helping people with their web strategies, building companies, helping people with their marketing strategy, business plans, social media, because that's part of my mission. And if you haven't already, try to find out what your mission is, what your purpose. Tap into that and try to monetize it. Life gets a lot easier. Welcome, everybody, tuning in for the first time. I see some good folks over here. I see Platinum. Yes, thank you, Platinum. Platinum say, I will join another one of your courses as soon as I get a free moment. Thank you, Platinum. Be glad to have you in one of my classes. I think you've taken 1 or 2 in the past. Thank you very much for your support. And thank you, everybody. We've got a great show lined up today. And we're going to talk about subscriptions. Have you ever looked at your bank statement one day and you say, wait a minute, what's all this? Wow. You find out you've been paying $19 a month ever since you left high school for something you don't even know what it is anymore? Well, subscription, I call it subscription affliction addiction because everybody, that's become a business model for so many companies now. So there's a pro and a con. If you're a business, it's a great idea. It's a great way to level out your income and build loyalty. But if you're on the receiving end, you're a consumer, sometimes it can be cumbersome, it can be costly. We're going to talk about that today from both angles. That's going to be our marketing sermon today in a few minutes. So stick around for that. Some of you think about it. Go while you're waiting on that, you might grab your bank statement now and just take a peek. It'll surprise you. So wait a minute. And sometimes those little things, $2.95, $5.99, $9.99, because it's small, sometimes it flies under your radar. But you compound that times 12 months a year, that $5 a month becomes $60. That $9.99 becomes $120. So anyway, we're going to talk about that later in the show. If you haven't already joined the business directory, go over to mpi.bz, your name in that. Let us chat the show. And we talk. Let's see who we got over here in the directory right now. We have, and we built this community up. We have over 500 businesses right now in the directory. We have Ship Forstall out of New Orleans. He's an attorney looking for folks who may have had auto accidents. We have Miracle Movers and Markham out of Ontario, Canada. Okay, got people out of Canada joining the directory. We have Here and Now Movers out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. All right, somebody from the hometown. We have another family law attorney out of Cleveland, Ohio, Cabell Antonelli. We also have out of New York, we have a digital, I guess that's a digital marketing firm. We have Truth Limo, and we have Helping Hands, Cynthia's Helping Hands out of the DC area. Get over there and get your name in that directory so we can shout you out. We're trying to build this community so that we can share resources, and it makes it a lot easier for me. When somebody's trying to get me to refer them to somebody, this old head can't remember everybody's phone number and web address. I mean, you could be my brother or my sister. I'm going to have a hard time remembering your phone number and web address when there's so many in my head. So I can easily remember. Say, look, why don't you go over to mpi.bz, and I'll put you right on the homepage, make it easier for you to get that sale and that business. So let's go ahead and support those people who are there also. We're also recognizing making some services for the month. For instance, this is ADHD Awareness Month. That's Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Health Literacy Month, National Bullying Prevention Awareness Month, National Diabetes Month, National Disability Employment Awareness Month, Positive Attitude Month. I like that one. Sarcastic Month and Vegetarian Month. So some people may wonder, why do we do these awarenesses, these awareness months? What's this all about? Well, what we try to do is bring attention to causes that may go unnoticed. We also try to educate the public, and we advocate for change. We also want to show support for these issues, help break down the stigmas and promote understanding. And we want to mobilize people to take action. And if you are affected by one of these causes or issues, we want to alert you to resources and connect you with other people who may be suffering from the same affliction. So that's why we do it. We're not just doing it just to hear my head roll, as people say. Bring awareness, connect people, and break down some of the stigmas and show support. And by doing so, we can affect positive change in our community. So that's what's going on there. I'd like to thank our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites, who makes this show possible. They are located in the Largo area, Miss Bernadette Clay and Company. Matter of fact, we had a first Friday a couple weeks ago. We do that every first Friday. And this past first Friday, we talked about artificial intelligence. We had Miss Dr. Mildred Charles, gave some great information. So once again, networking really works if you know how to use it. Just have a goal. Make sure you have a goal when you set up the network. A young person in my networking group last night, I think he was still in high school or just gotten out. He said, networking helped me. I don't even have a business yet. Well, one of the goals of networking can be to get information. Like we had the dynamic presentation at the first Friday event on artificial intelligence. So anybody who had come to that event, whether they had a business or not, would have been rewarded. So when you're setting your networking goals, one of those goals can be just to further enlighten you or get perspective on certain topics and information. So networking is good. I brought that up, mentioned in BLE because we have this networking event every Friday of the month. I mean, uh, first, be no exception. You can find out more about the event by going to marketingtoolkit.com or BLE Suites. You can find out more about the networking event. Let's talk about some items in the news quickly. This first one ties into our marketing site. Matter of fact, I'll get to that later. Let's talk about Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is laying off people. Do you think these guys are more for anybody? Everybody out here now trying to get into the tech space, and big companies are starting to cut back. Just when you think you've figured it out, you realize you haven't figured it out. Whether it's marketing, whether it's technology, there's always something else. So you have to just stay up. That's another reason we do this show. Keep you abreast so that you don't fall behind. Okay, there's a lot out here to learn. There's a lot to keep up. Sometimes we're trying to live our day-to-day lives. We don't have time to be sitting there staring at the computer screen and television screen. So you try to find a resource that keeps you abreast. I'm an instructor. I've been marketing and I have my own business for 25 plus years. So I don't know it all. I'm still learning, but we can learn together. Here's an interesting story. An 8-year-old girl drove herself to a Target store 25 minutes from her home. Man, I tell you what, I know Target is pretty good. They do have some people just live in Target. I guess that young lady, she probably watched her mom and dad go to Target every Friday or Saturday, and she said, "Look, when I gotta go, I gotta go." So she jumped in the car. An 8-year-old, I didn't know an 8-year-old feet could reach the pedals, but she figured it out. 25 minutes from her home, she drove over to Target. I'm not sure she had a credit card to shop when she got there. All right, folks, keep an eye on your kids, and also just know this: also, kids are like little sponges. They emulate what they see adults do. This is a not so good story. Two people have been arrested for a home invasion that resulted in a murder. And the people, they posed as utility workers. And I'm telling this story, I really want to, you can call this a public announcement. This 70-year-old in Rochester Hills was tied up and killed. The people came to his house and they pretended to be utility workers. And of course, they died. So if you are home and somebody comes to your house and they're pretending to be a utility worker or some other person, call the home office. I don't let anybody in my house. If I don't know you're coming, you're not getting in. We should have worked that out on the phone or by email or text or something in advance. You need to do this. Just telling you as a public safety issue. Don't let strange people in your house. I know some people are setting up home for the first time. Some people are not familiar with the safety rules of the day. But this story was kind of chilling to me because I know that could happen to anybody. Somebody comes up to your door, so there's a gas leak. We're here to check it out. Who wouldn't let them in, right? Nobody wants to get carbon monoxide or gas in your home, so you let them in. Don't do it. As this person found out, unfortunately. So just a little word of caution as we go into this holiday season. And it's unfortunate that these are the times we live in, that it's hard to trust anybody anymore. Anyway, let's keep moving. Of course, we're going to try to keep you abreast of AI, artificial intelligence. Now, this is an interesting story. Parents sued a high school because the school punished the young man for using artificial intelligence on his history report, his history paper. So he was in his AP history class, and he discovered that he and some other students had used artificial intelligence to on a project they were writing about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And so once they figured it out, once the teachers and administrators figured out that he was using artificial intelligence, they put the grade down to like a D, and it lowered his overall GPA. Of course, the parents weren't too happy about that, so they hired a lawyer. I mean, I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. This is the first salvo of all the lawsuits that's going to happen as a result of artificial intelligence. Now, the lawyer said, and I'm kind of on the fence on this one. When you first hear the story, you want to say, the kid shouldn't have been using AI to begin with. Well, should he? If that's where the country is going, if that's a tool now that everybody is using, what better place to start learning about it than in high school? And the other point that the lawyer was making is that it's under-regulated. They haven't really laid out the rules on what's permissible and what's not. So he said that it's going to be a part of your everyday life, and you might as well start getting used to it in high school. He said it's not plagiarism, it's an output from a machine. He said he was using it for research and organization, not necessarily writing paper. Well, I'm telling you, as a tech person, I'm probably tending to lean more towards the student. And I didn't think I would, because when I first heard the story, like many people, particularly as an educator, you would say, you don't want these students using artificial intelligence. But they're using Google, they're using their phones, they're using their computers. What AI does, it just makes it more efficient. So I'm not going to jump the gun and say that the student and the lawyer is wrong on this one. And I'd be interested in your take on it. I really think that this is going to be discussed so much. There's a lot of discussion and a lot of lawsuits coming down the pike on this one. What I am going to do is take a quick break. We're going to come back in a second. We're going to talk about subscription madness. Memberships. Everybody now wants you to buy during membership. You go to the daggone hamburger joint now, and they want to get you signed up on a subscription. So your burger, I guess it comes to your house every day, or they have it waiting on you when you get there. Instead of just paying as you go, they're trying to get you on some type of subscription and membership. It's great for business, but is it good for the consumer and society? So hang on, folks. We're going to take a quick break. Platinum is commenting on she said she uses Google a lot. They even a side of the system set up, as soon as you pull up Google, you get AI information. That's right. AI is going to become not a standalone. It's going to become an add feature on just about everything technology related in the coming days. When you go to Google, when you go to Bing, AI is there. I use this MailChimp program to send out newsletters. It's got AI in it now. It'll help you write the article, help you rewrite it from one tone to the next. So we be discouraging young people from using it, or should we be encouraging them or showing them how to use it, since it's going to be a part of their lives and their careers? Something to think about. This is the marketing pulpit. We're going to take a quick break. So hang on a second. We'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. We're back. I see some folks tuning in over on Instagram. I see Lola. Good morning. Lola was one of my students a few months ago. Very sharp young lady. She has a very interesting business on how to use forks, the right way to use forks and napkins and social etiquette and graces. I think she's also a model. So thank you for tuning in this morning. Hope everything's going well. I see a lot of tuning in. I see your numbers. Until you put a comment in, I won't know exactly who you are, but thank you everybody for tuning in this morning to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Good marketing gospel. I'm not here to save your soul. I'm here to save your business, save your job, and to save our community. Let's see here. We're going to talk about talk about this topic of mine today. These ideas, these topics, they come to me as I go through my week. I really don't have a long list of topics into the future. Something happens, I see something, it affects me, it probably affects some other people as well. So I look at my bank statement and I see all these, and there's like 5 or 6 things on there. There's PWC LLC. Who the heck is that? Well, sometimes the name doesn't match the service. It has nothing to do with the service. And then also, I mean, there are other reasons to look at your bank statement too, because just this past week, somebody got a hold of my debit card number and put two transactions that totaled like $700 came out of my account. Now I got to get on the phone. I got to go get a new debit card. I got to fill out a report, a fraud report. They don't give you your money back right away. So if I'm looking a little hungry this morning, it's because they took my lunch. Well, I have thinking I have other resources, but you want to check your bank statements anyway. But let me talk about these subscriptions right now. So you look at this statement and you see something you've been charged for $9.95 since you get out of high school, and you can't recognize what it is because of the name. But it's not just you that it's happening to. It's happening to a lot of people right now because of this new business model. It's not a new business model, but it's gained popularity in the last few years, where everybody now wants you to get on some type of membership or subscription. Now, if you're a business owner, this could be good news, because I've been telling my clients, is anything in your business, any services or product that you can, what we can call put on recurring sales or subscription type income. For instance, I use my web services. Somebody buys a website, they're going to need a domain name. That's a recurring annual fee. They need hosting services. They got to pay for their hosting. They can do it either annually or they can do it monthly. They have a SSL certificate. You got to pay the annual fee. So you look at your business and you say, what else can I put on this automated money machine so it just cranks out a payment every month or every year? And so that's a good thing. If you can do that, and you'd be surprised that there's probably some service right now that you're offering to public that you could put on some type of subscription basis. Now, what it does is provide steady income. You don't have to go chasing people down. You get that credit card, you put it in there, boom. Every month, like clockwork, you can have your budget around it. It does encourage customer loyalty and retention. One of those big success stories of marketing is to get people to retain your customers, get them to come back again and again, and increase the lifetime value and it increases the viability of your company. Of course, the recurring income stream that's a bonanza, and it helps build a community of dedicated customers. So there are many benefits of getting your clients on subscription. And we all know the usual suspects of people who have their services on subscription model: Netflix, Hulu, Spotify. Every month you pop it at $9.99. Even Amazon got me paying for this Prime. Even though I did watch the game, right? So it works. It can be a good thing, business, and a good thing for the consumer, but you have to manage it. Okay. Meal delivery services now. I work for this company called Diet to Go. I was their marketing director and business development vice president, senior vice president for many years. And the first thing I admired about them, and I was as often as I can, anywhere I can. They had their meals on a subscription basis. You got those meals every week until you told them to stop. And that was part of their business model. And it worked. You let them know, say, look, I'm signing up for the month, or I'm signing up until you tell me to stop. And every month they were bringing in, that one customer was paying anywhere from $35 a week, in some cases up to $150 a week. That's some good money. And I remember that, and I never forgot it. I said, wow, these guys are on to something here. Of course, there's gym, there's go to the gym, those kind of things on subscription basis, spas and gyms, magazine subscriptions, digital download subscriptions, pet care services. All these things are on this subscription basis because it's a cash cow if you do it right, and it's something that people want. Now, let's just say you're trying to decide if it's going to be working for you. Well, you have to understand your audience. Who's your target? And what kind of subscription services are going to be most valuable to them? You don't have to make everything you're selling a subscription service. Like I said, we do the web services, but there are many services that we offer that just on strictly retainer basis. You pay as you go. So it's not, you don't have to do it on everything you offer. And you want to put together a pricing strategy. Make sure you're competitive. You provide in value, make them feel like they're getting more for their money. Now, sometimes people in certain communities, people are willing to pay, they'll pay $50 a month before they'll pay, $500 a year. Because it seems like that's just the way they've been programmed to play on a smaller amount on a more frequent basis. And sometimes it's economics. They just don't have the money at that particular time. So it's nothing wrong with that. That's what you have to do. But it's a strategy that companies are really, sometimes they might overdo it. I think some companies overdo the subscription thing because they know they're going to get more money if they have pockets. They can wait a year to get $1,000 instead of taking $400 up front. Then once you do it, you want to let people know that you now have a subscription-based service. You want to market it properly to these same people. Then you want to monitor, make sure it's making money, analyze the business model, and you want to make corrections as you go forward. So it can work. And I do encourage it if you have a business that will fit into the subscription model. Not every service can, but you'll be surprised. I want you to think about it. When we get off this air today, go back, go to your website, go to your brochure, look at your services that you're offering. Ask which ones can be put on some type of subscription basis. I'll tell you how you have to try it and test things. Of course, I have my marketing services. Right now, we charge like a retainer. So you put out a few $1,000 and then we bill against it. So like what an attorney does. But once upon a time, I was really into this subscription-based model. So I started a service and was really focusing on attorneys where you would pay $500 a month and you'd have like a number of services that would come with that. And I tell you, it really didn't work. Like I said, everything doesn't work. It could have worked, but it just didn't fit my way of thinking and doing business. Because now every month I gotta make sure $500 worth of service. And sometimes marketing just doesn't work that way. You don't necessarily need $500 worth of service every month. Some months you may need $2,500. Some months you may be going through a period where you don't need any at all. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but it just didn't fit the way I do business. So you have to do some trial and error. Everything is not going to work, but you'll be surprised how many things will work. Now, of course, there's some drawbacks, particularly to the consumer. They got that, and sometimes that can be viewed as a negative for your business as well, because now they have that financial commitment every month. And sometimes they start to resent it. They be talking about you like I'm talking about some of these companies up here I'm talking about today. Here comes that bill. They taking that every time that thing comes out of your account. You get a little more angry at them. These son of a gun, these leeches taking my money out every month. I'm going to cancel that service. So again, it requires a financial commitment. And some people just aren't willing to do that after a period of time. And it does lead to what we call subscription fatigue. People just get downright tired of people dipping in their account every month. And I'm telling you the truth now. Like I said, it goes back to my business model and my personality and my company culture. I was a little uncomfortable doing it on some services. I just felt like I felt like I was, I just sound, it's hard for marketing guy, like business owner to say, I feel like I was being a little greedy. I don't feel greedy when it's your domain name or your hosting service or your SSL certificate. But with certain services where it was just me personally, I just never felt that comfortable with it. So I after I've embarked upon it and embraced the subscription concept, I had to go back and pick and choose that some services it was a fit, other services it was not a fit, and you have to do that too for yourself. Other people do, they forget about the service and they'll pay something that they no longer use or no longer need, and that's a problem. Yes, for the consumer, but it's also a problem for you. It can create ill will. I found out I've been paying for a service for 2 years that I'm not using. I feel like you should have told me. You've been paying for this gym membership since Obama was in the White House. And you slab as a Jello pudding, and you haven't worked out in 3 years. But we've been charging you $9.95 a month ever since. So now I've spent about $500-$600 on service I didn't use. That can cause some ill will. So you have to remember that too. What your policy is going to be. Are you going to let people know? And if you're doing good customer service, that should happen. And the bottom line, and it takes me to my story. It's difficult to change or cancel your subscription. Boy, they got a big old red button on the homepage when you're signing up. Every time you flip the page, there it is again. There's that button. Join today. Subscribe. Get in now. But wait till you're ready to unsubscribe. Man, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You got to go to the contact page, click a link. You make you call in. You got to send an email. You got to do a math test. Make sure it's you. You see some identification. Unsubscribe. Well, you didn't need any identification for me to join up. So that's where, once again, help is on the way. Now, there are some services out here that can help you with that. Experian, Rocket Money, Waymaps, Pocket Guard. These are some companies that have actually started a business because they realize this is a problem. And so they help you, I guess, protect your wallet, your bank account, by going to your account and telling you which services, one, that you are subscribing to, and how to get you out of those services. Now, here's the other one that's really good news. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, has actually passed a rule that's going to take effect next year, that companies have to now create a click to cancel rule. In other words, you have to make it easier for you to unsubscribe. You have to be able to click a button. So they're going to require these companies right now that are making it hard to unsubscribe. They're going to make it, the law now is going to say you have to make it easier. You have to have I think it's like a one-click cancel rule now, that you don't have to go through all these hoops to unsubscribe when you're on one of these benefit subscriptions or membership plans. And it really fit under the government broad crack called jump fees. I think that they use that to apply to airlines and the banks. They have a lot of small print where they're charging people what they shouldn't be charged, or making it difficult for people to understand what's going on. So this fell under that, and the FTC chairperson, Linda Khan, said businesses can't make people jump through endless hoops to unsubscribe from their subscriptions and membership-based plans. And I agree. So, from a consumer standpoint, subscriptions, they can be great because your services are uninterrupted. Like clockwork, like that payment is made every month, that service is going to continue every month. But it also becomes cumbersome, frustrating, and can be costly. Now, from a business standpoint, man, it can be the best thing since sliced bread. That recurring revenue coming in every month to chase people down. You can budget, know exactly how much money you're going to be making on a certain product or service every month because it's already a subscription-based model. You can add that line item to your budget as income. It also builds loyalty, retention, lifetime value, and all kind of benefits. So in a nutshell, depending on which side of the table you're on, it could be a bonanza, it could be bad, but no matter what side you're on, we're going to make it positive because we are strategic. And that's what this show is about. Strategy, doing things that's going to work for us, going to help our community. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Say hello to Mr. Brown. Thank you for joining in this morning. And everybody else who's tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit Show. Guess what? We're going to do this again next week, as we do every week. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. And let's go forward. And we're into a new season now. It's getting a little colder out there. Let's try to keep warm and get ready for the holiday season coming up. If you're not already, start thinking about the first of the year. And we're going to talk about that in the next few shows on how to prepare for the upcoming 2025 season, 2025 year, and the holiday season. And we're going to see you then. So this is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood. And as we always close out the show, we're going to say, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.